Please pick your number. And you have picked hashtag number 6, empowering rural communities.
Hashtag empowering rural communities. I believe that rural communities are the cornerstone of our nation's progress. And with the Tayo's initiatives with the 5 youth bureaus, I believe that we have been spearheading different initiatives in communities so that we can provide them resources, opportunities, and education accessible in all gender, age, and economic status. And I believe that if we empower rural communities, we will be giving them hope for a brighter tomorrow. As a youth advocate, as a pageant enthusiast, and a student nurse, I've been doing this ever since I started joining pageants, and even before. I travel to far-flung areas and go to different communities just to encourage the out-of-school youth to go back to education, because I believe that this is a powerful weapon in transforming our society. I am the president of the Philippine Nursing Students Association BUA chapter, the former president of Jóvenes de Bicolandia 102 Layers Club International. I became a volunteer at JCI Naga Cariñosa and Naga City Lady Eagles Club, also Naga City Dog Lovers Club. And I also founded the K-Modeling Training Center in Camarines. And through this, I've engaged my modeling students in different community outreach initiatives every semester together with them with their modeling fees. And I believe that this is something that we could share to the world, that beauty transcends our external beauty, and this should be rooted from within. And I believe that if we empower rural communities, we will pave way to a brighter tomorrow. And as your next youth ambassadress, together with Tayo, I believe that we could create a world where empowering communities is not just a goal, but a reality for all. Thank you.
Candidate number 2, your hashtag is hashtag number 1, mind and movement.
Well, allow me to say this by telling something about myself first. The hashtag mind and movement is really close to my heart. Why? Because ever since I was a child, I used to become a leader, a performer, and a child who dreamed to have a good future in life. And now, as I stand as a public servant, as a Sangguniang Kabataan chairperson, the hashtag mind and movement is really relevant nowadays. With the help of the team Albay Youth Organization, I believe that thinking and helping the youth in their intellectual capacity is not only the key to success, but I believe that with movement and in motion, we can create a huge difference. And that is why I am standing here in front of you today. Because I believe that I have the rate of capability to not only uphold the mind and movement to my fellow youth, but at the same time uphold my purpose. That is to work with the Team Albay Youth Organization. Together, we can help hand in hand. And with a hashtag mind and movement, I believe that anything is possible. You know what? This is my vision, my dream, and my goal. And I can do it with my own strength, but of course, with the strength of God shall provide. I believe that I am beyond ready. Thank you so much.
Candidate number 3 has picked number 14, hashtag empower through education.
Based on one of the recent studies, there's 90.9% of education poverty rate here in the Philippines. And I myself have been put in the position to choose whether to continue my education or provide for myself and help out my family. And that is why I realized that there is a dire need for the gaps in our education system to be filled and have our voices be heard through advocacies like mine, which is access to quality education. Because I believe with access to quality education, we would be able to turn every opportunities into better chances for every youth to be able to succeed in life. And with education, we'd be able to change lives, not only for this generation, but for the generations to come. Thank you.
Vienna, you have picked hashtag number 4, but hashtag protect indigenous tradition.
I believe that with indigenous tradition, it was able to shape us what we are today and understand our values, our core, our place. And so I believe that it is very important that we protect our indigenous
traditions, because it is very important that we appreciate the traditions that our past historians have made just so that we could be able to what we are today. And so I think that by protecting this, it is very important so that we can take this in their lives, in our lives, and also to use it for the next generation to come. Thank you.
Your hashtag. And you have picked hashtag number 2, Resilient Communities PH.
Resiliency is the characteristic of each in the individuals and communities to which we must strive, even each and every hazards. With the typhoons that have plummeted the Bicol region, it is a stark manifestation that our government should uphold their accountability and transparency for the leaders and constituents of the society. That is why it is only incumbent upon us youth to call for the government's actions to prioritize education, infrastructure, and safety of each and every society, communities, and individuals, and prominently the marginalized communities. For only through this initiative that we can empower and we can create a life in the future where each and every communities and individuals and society, and of course our motherland, the Philippines, can have a life and future to which we can have life that thrive and flourish. That would be all. Thank you.
And candidate number 6, your hashtag is hashtag number 15. Hashtag Youth Empowerment Now.
You know what? Building our youth is such a crucial moment in the future. Because investing in the youth right now means investing in a brighter future. As part of the youth, I feel very empowered to be standing here in front of you, being involved in organizations such as Tayo, being given the platform to share my advocacies, to share my talents and skills. But youth empowerment just not only starts with organizations like these. It should start within families. We should start empowering our youth so that in and out of their houses, they would be able to explore their capabilities and skills so that they can achieve their full potential when going outside the world. As someone who has been involved in multiple charity events that my family leads, I believe that my grandmother, who has started a gift-giving event, especially during the year-end, has been a great example of how youth empowerment can strive in local communities, and that our youth is such a powerful tool in helping our communities find their full potential. And now that I am standing here in front of you as a youth, I want you all to know that the true power of youth not only lies within themselves and their minds, but in the actions that they show the world. That is all. Thank you.
I've been wanting to make that joke since a long time ago. Your hashtag is also number 7. Hashtag Ending Hunger Together.
Hunger, malnutrition, and poverty crisis are issues that affect people from all over the world, whether we realize it or not, or whether we are affected or not. Not only does it impact an individual's health, but it has a ripple effect on our economy, education system, and quality of life. We need to find ways to combat these issues, and I firmly believe that with the right education and the right support to our government, we can create a world free of hunger and ensure that by feeding the plates, we strengthen community and ensure that no one is left behind and everyone have resources. Thank you so much.
And your hashtag is hashtag number 11. Hashtag Digital Access for All.
Good evening, or good afternoon, everybody. I chose digital access for all. As a youth myself, I am fully aware that digitalization has a neutral sharing to our society nowadays. And I also believe that access to technology and internet is not just a privilege, but it should be a necessity, because every individual deserves to have access to any form of digitalization. And at the same time, as a student myself, one way that we can do to ensure that everyone can access technology and internet is through education, because I know that if we have education and students know how to use the technology and the internet properly, we can have access to digitalization. And at the same time, I believe that digital access for all should I believe that digital access for all should not be deprived to everyone, as this is one of the major things that we should have as an individual, as a youth, and as a student. And that is why we must work hand in hand to ensure that everyone has the access to technology, to internet, and to digitalization. Thank you so much.
Hashtag. And your hashtag candidate number 9 is hashtag number 9. Hashtag mental health matters PH.
This year, last October, my cousin and my best friend passed away because of depression. And that inspired me to be an advocate not just for agriculture, but also for mental health awareness. A not very well mental state can make us feel down, but a very well mental state can make us feel better, allowing us to do good, to choose the right decision in life, to thrive more in life, to strive more in life, and to soar high in life. I believe that our mental health is interconnected with our overall well-being as an individual, and is a purpose-driven passionate youth who is an advocate for mental health awareness. I am using my social media platform and beauty pageant platform in order for me to leverage my meaningful initiative for championing the mental health of every individual, most especially the youth, the kabataan, and the young people nowadays. So ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward, let our hearts be touched, let our minds be enlightened, and let our eyes be open. And we should always intact and inculcate into our minds that we should always foster a society where kindness, empathy, understanding, empowering, and uplifting others is always presented in order for us to live in a prosperous life that we deserve. Thank you.
Yes. Early in the game. Aliyah, you have picked hashtag number 12. Hashtag youth for climate action.
I believe that every one of us has a responsibility in this world, and so does the youth. We are responsible for our own planet. And unfortunately, now that we are looking, if you are able to look around, it's a disaster. It's hurtful to see that there are trees being cut down, that the temperature is continuously going high, that there's disasters left and right, and it not only affects our livelihood, it affects us. It has killed a lot of people, and that absolutely breaks my heart. And it may not be relevant, but it most certainly is, because that is a change of climate, and we must take action. Because not only are we looking out for ourselves, we are looking out for our future. We're not only looking out for our safety, but we are looking out for the safety of our future generations. We, as a youth, has the responsibility and has the capabilities to create change. Because we are not just only youth. We have the mind, and we have the thought, and we have the passion to create a change. And to create change is to start moving. Because climate change will not stop unless we take a step forward. The youth is the power. The youth's power is their mind. And their mind can create beautiful and amazing changes for the society, for our world. Not only here in Albay, not only here for Thai organization, but all over the world. Because youth is our future. That will be all. Thank you.
Candidate number 11, you have picked hashtag number 5, cultural roots matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, our culture is not just a practice. It is a living legacy that reflects our wisdom, resilience, and strength as a person. And I do believe that hashtag cultural roots matter is not just a move. It's not just a statement. For me, it is a movement that encourages and embraces our uniqueness and our strength around the world. And for me, it embraces our own knowledge, skills, and full potential when we at least people embrace our own roots. And for me, this allows us to know who we are and where we came from. So let us all know that we have to preserve and respect our culture. Thank you.
You have picked hashtag number 8. I love this one. Hashtag agriculture is the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hashtag agriculture is the future should not remain as a mere hashtag, but a driving change that we need. I believe that agriculture has always been the backbone of our economy, and it will always serve as the lifeline of our food security. And as a mechanical engineering student, I am planning to empower our agricultural sector by providing low-cost machinery so that we would help farmers to indulge in sustainable agriculture and innovative farming practices. And also, it is a high time that we champion the rights and welfare of our farmers so that we would elevate their working conditions. Now is the time to act, and I believe that we, through our collaboration, we can empower the agricultural sector. And that's why I'm standing here as trailblazer of change that empowers our agricultural sector and eliminates the inequality, food insecurity, and economic instability in the Philippines. Thank you and good evening.
You have picked hashtag number 13. Hashtag gender equality for all.
Equality has been a long-sought issue, even in the past decades. And I believe that we must acquire this because we must not deprive every individual with the opportunity to grow and to understand themselves. And we must provide them with the platforms and avenues to serve and have those voices that they can show their skills, their specialty, and their talents. Because once we give them that platform, I know that each and every one of us could shine. Because a world where everyone can voice out their insights, those purposeful insights that would lead to action, those actions that would lead to a positive impact and a purposeful meaning towards each and every individual that they can reach. So, the first thing that we can do is that we provide each and every one of us equal opportunities because a world shines brighter when each and every individual is given the opportunity to shine as bright as they want. And that would be all. Thank you.
Your hashtag is hashtag number 3, hashtag youth voices in leadership.
I would like to begin my discourse by saying that the youth is the canvas upon which the masterpiece of a better tomorrow is painted. It is through their dreams, through their minds, through their innovative young minds, through their skills that we can have a better world. I think it is high time that we include and recognize the youth of today and empower them because then again, they are not just the future leaders of this world, but the change maker of today. And through empowering the youth, it is not just a mission, but it is an investment towards having a better future. Thank you so much.
Last hashtag, and it belongs to you. Thank you so much, Put. You have picked hashtag number 10, hashtag youth in nation building.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The youth is so important in our society right now because the fresh minds, the fresh ideas and innovation that can help empower our society and inspire the people around us for the betterment of our nation. To build our nation, we need to be able to empower the youth, to be able to educate them about the nation and the and the proper knowledge that it takes for thank you.
That's all right. Thank you so much, candidate number 15. And that ends our preliminary question and answer.